Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Reviewing Your Pokemon series. In this episode, I'm going over a submission that was sent in to me by none other than Collin. Now, Collin sent in this Sylveon, and with the context of, I have a Gardevoir with a main skill up nature, Sleep XP, Skill Trigger M, and Inventory. My question is for a whale account, which he did clarify that he is a very big whale. So for a whale count, does it make sense to have two healers? My thinking is I can use Gardevoir between events to level up Mons with Sleep XP up, and then I can switch to Sylveon for the extra helping bonus during the event weeks, or at level 100 whenever it's better than the Gardevoir. I just don't know how highly to rate helping bonus on a healer, like Gardevoir uses its skill about once more per day on average, but does the team's speed boost from Sylveon's help bonus tip the scales? Curious to hear your thoughts, thanks. Alrighty, Colin. Well, this is one of my favorite topics. I love talking about helping bonus. It's one of, I feel like, the most underrated skills in the game. So it is something that I'd like to address, I guess. First off, um, so this is the Sylveon, helping bonus, skill trigger S, helping speed S, which can be sub-skill seeded. I assumed you would sub-skill seed that immediately getting there, given how much of a whale you say you are. I assume you probably have enough sub-skill seeds to manage that. Inventory up S, skill trigger M, with the adamant nature, that's pretty powerful, because that's just a little bit more speed. So it's primarily going to be through speed that this thing is going to be proccing its skill, but it's got a little bit of skill trigger, and eventually skill trigger M coming in way late. Now, something very interesting. So, he also said that he has this Gardevoir, which I put up here because I think it's interesting to compare them side by side. Now, he didn't give full descriptions like ingredient list or what tier that they are. I assumed like skill trigger M, inventory up L, and I assumed careful nature because it's technically the best for skill triggers because decreasing the ingredients technically makes their inventory fill up slightly slower because I wanted to give this Gardevoir every possibility for what it could be based off the sub skills that he gave me. Now, as we can see here, there's a difference of 5.28 procs of energy for everyone on the Sylveon versus, wait a minute, I forgot to put in this, 6.17 procs per day on the Gardevoir. That sounds pretty significant. That's almost a whole proc per day, which is about what he said he gets with the Gardevoir. So, calculator reflects that. And as you can see, the energy is a little bit better on the Gardevoir than it is on the Sylveon. But something very... now, the question though, helping bonus on the Sylveon. How does that compare to the Gardevoir's energy procs? Now, first off, one thing to consider is that helping bonus is going to be more reliable than energy for everyone. Energy for everyone, while it is pretty reliable at proccing its skill, I mean, 6 times a day is nothing to sneeze at. But it's still, you're going to have some days where it's a bit rough. You don't get the double proc in the morning and your just days off to a rough start, because then you get less procs throughout the entirety of the day because you have less energy then. So it's more RNG dependent. Helping bonus is always going to be, at minimum, a 5.2% boost to productivity. Now, additionally, energy for everyone has diminishing returns the more procs that it gives, and that's just because of the way that the energy curve works. Now, I've thrown these amount of procs into the energy curve analysis tool in Rain on X. So here's the Sylveon's curve with getting 5.28. I'll throw that in now. It changed up a little bit when I changed some of the settings. 5.28 procs versus the Gardevoir getting 6.17. I'll have to redo some of this math on the fly. So, 6.17 versus the 5.28 procs. Now, the way that energy contributes to boosting the team is by keeping the team above a high enough energy level that they're never hitting the lower breakpoints, never decreasing their efficiency. And as you can see in these beautiful graphs that's made by the tool that the Ranorex team generated, both are just going to be keeping the team topped off for most of the time, only with a little bit of time at the end of like a long sleep session where you're going to have an energy break point right at the end of the day. The Sylveon, obviously, a little bit worse. It's got a little bit longer, and it does dip down to the lowest one. But when you're averaging the productivity cost across the entire day, you got to consider how much are you actually gaining from this little bit extra right at the end of the day. And if you do the math, so the way that you can figure this out is if you take the averages and divide them by each other, then that will give you a percentage. Now here we got 2.2118 for the Gardevoir, and 2.1738 for this one. That comes out to a 1.75% boost. Now the reason why that's very important is that 1.75% boost is what you're getting by running this Gardevoir over the Sylveon. If you really think about it, that is not much at all. Because, especially when you think about it in terms of helping bonus, helping bonus is 1 divided by 0.95, and this is the minimum possible that helping bonus can be benefiting the team, because extra instances of help speed and other instances of help bonus actually make every instance of help bonus stronger than it was when it was on its own. If you want more information about that, go check out my video on helping bonus. And help speed as well. I talked about it very extensively in those videos. But you can see 5.26% bonus off of the helping bonus versus the benefit you gain from the Gardevoir of 1.75. So in this circumstance, unless you already have, say, 3 or 4, unless you already have like 4 Pokemon that you're consistently running with help bonus on the team to the point where you're hitting the sub-skill help bonus cap, because that is a very niche thing, and if that applies to you, getting 5 help bonus Pokemon doesn't necessarily help all that much. Unless you're having that be the case, then I think 100% this Sylveon is better than the Gardevoir, despite having less procs per day. Because that help bonus is just significantly more impactful than the procs from energy. And also, the energy procs, the boosts from energy exist outside the boosts from the helping bonus, so they can work independently of each other. And also, like I said in the start, reliability. That helping bonus is going to always be boosting your team by 5.2%. The Gardevoir's extra proc may not always be boosting you by an additional 1.7% compared to what it was before. So, overall, this Sylveon is definitely way better. Now, as for the question of does it make sense for a whale account? Absolutely. If you have the seeds, I think that sounds like a great idea. Running something consistently with XP, Sleep XP bonus to level those Pokemon, that is an awesome usage for that golden subskill. And since you have the account that can afford the seeds, since you have the account that can afford the running it both weeks, and you know what? I'd even say it would make it sense for a whale account even if it didn't have the XP bonus, just because, you know, you could run this Sylveon at Cyan or every other week, but then you could have this Gardevoir on the side for Lapis exclusively, because at Lapis, you're going to get more total strength. Like, if we make that comparison, like, that extra bonus there is probably going to be more than what the difference is from help bonus. I don't know. I'd have to get the full picture of the whole team to really document that, but it's something interesting to consider. So, yeah, that's really what I think for you, Collin. The help bonus definitely tips the scales in favor of the Sylveon. So, that's my 2 cents on the matter. Anyway, if you have learned a little something, be sure or enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Down below in the description, I do have the form if you want to submit your own Pokemon for possible review in a video just like this one. I'd be glad to talk about it, as long as you have some sort of interesting dilemma for me to discuss. Anyway, that concludes the video. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye now.